Show us. That doesn't really work, does it? Have you tried? Oh, that's good. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Better. So much better. What a fantastic, fantastic tune. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. I've been Donald Trump. Thank you and good night.
And what time?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're going to give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm going to let you keep your hand.
Happy Astrocast. How are you?
Happy Astrocast to you too. Thanks for honoring it, even though we're evenly divided here.
Well, you know, I am transitioning to female, and true. I identify as an ovary-bearing individual. So, I'm happy to honor the tradition. Melanie Mack is off today. She is doing something with family, which is cool. That's a good thing.
Trotting. She's leaving us behind.
Yeah, I guess. But we do have a special guest today. We've got Seamus from Freedom Tunes. He's running a little bit behind, but he will be here. I don't know. Is he intending on just making his announcement and bailing, or do you think he's going to plan on being on for the show?
He'll come on. He'll be here. I told him we usually have guests on for an hour.
Yep,
and if he bails after his announcement, everyone can boo him on Twitter.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Hold on a second. Melanie is working today.
She is? We're going to have an Astrocast day after all?
Okay, well, here she comes.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Is she in the chat being like, help me?
Yeah, she's like, you didn't send me the link, and yeah, she'll be here momentarily. I got it. Nephilim says, Seamus and Mel together, take my money. Wish Gothix was on this one. That would be too much, Estro. Look who finally showed up.
I thought you were taking a day off.
No, that's next week. Next week.
Well,
She's keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, that's fine. We have Seamus from Freedom Tunes join us today as a guest. He'll be here in a little bit.
Okay.
So how are you guys doing? I figured we'll just kind of vamp until we've got the Bondi stuff. We've got CIA Coverup. We've got a teen who was kidnapped and forced to break up with his girlfriend. To play Russian roulette by his girlfriend's family, who then demanded him to break up. That's kind of odd. Another black college president got caught plagiarizing her most important paper she's ever written. That has happened now twice, both at Harvard and at, I forget where this one was.
This one's in Maryland.
Yeah, I wonder, by the way, I wonder how many of these people who are in these positions, if we really dug around, how many of them earned it. It's
how deep do you have to dig,
Yeah, right. Yeah, Claudine Gay was the Harvard one that she got unceremoniously fired pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And then there was this broad. I wonder if a lot of these DEI hires, they just don't go through the same level of scrutiny that other people do. And by other people, I mean white people. Because certainly white people have plagiarized in the past. And certainly at the college level, I would argue that demographically, whites probably plagiarized the most, and it's not even close. But a lot of these university presidents seem to have an issue with the old. What did they couch said it was it wasn't accredited properly, even though it was just she just stole entire sections of text.
See, they could do my brother, because me and my brother, we went to college together, and I worked really hard on my papers, and he would just copy and paste 75% of it and just properly cite it, works cited. All of this, and he would get away with it. That's great, because I know, but it depends on the class. Some of them, they're oh, you're only allowed to do works cited for 25% of the paper. But this class, there was just no limit, and he got a better grade on that paper than I did.
Yeah, well, that was
what I worked hard on.
Yeah, that was.
I remember. We had to submit ours online so they could put it through a plagiarism scanner. And I remember because I was a English major, so you could do block quotes of passages or whatever. And so you'd get these really high plagiarism scores, but they technically were not actually plagiarizing if you're citing them correctly, being as said in this passage.
As long as you have your works cited page and you're properly showing everything that you cited. But yeah, again, it depends on the class, because some of them are oh, you're only allowed to do this much works cited.
Well, a lot of that came from the stupidest thing that was, of all. I see Seamus is there. I'll finish his idea here. The stupidest thing college ever had was word, minimum word articles or things that you had to write. That did not encourage writing the best paper. It
That's
encouraged
true.
writing the longest paper.
Yeah.
So like, I remember I was gonna go into management computer systems, and I took like a lot of accounting classes too as my electives. So I only had to take one English class in 5 years of college.
Oh,
and
wow.
I barely passed it with like a D
Really?
plus C minus.
I
Yeah,
always
I'm not good at
loved
writing
English
papers.
classes. Man, if they
Me
ever
too.
said you can either take a test or you can write an essay,
Paper?
I always chose essay. I
I
always
took the
did.
test every
Yeah.
time.
Me and Melanie Mac right
Yeah.
here.
Let's go.
Yeah, I took the test every single time. I was horrible at writing papers. I'm bad at reading, and I'm very bad at English, like reading and writing. I'm great at like stats, math, like physics. I did really good in.
Okay,
Anything
so the
that
man
required
stuff.
well, just analytical versus like the
What's
analytical
right.
versus the
Checks
whatever.
out.
English can be
Yeah.
analytical. You spend time analyzing documents and how things are written.
Only a word nerd would say that. Like,
But I was. It's really
Yeah.
bad. But I still like it. Like I'm listening to an audiobook about political speeches right now. Like it's always been my preference for sure. I think that there is obviously like mathematical analysis, but you know, there's something to analyzing words and meaning. I mean, it's something you kind of do all the time right now.
Yeah, but that's the analytical side of it. But like the idea of like, I need you to write a paper about this guy who wore a powdered wig and like what his ideas were. Like,
okay.
I remember the guy that was the guy that was like my professor. We had the school paper was called The Ubiquitous. I remember this because I was like, what a douche. And then like, I used to make fun of it. And then I found out like halfway through the class that he was like the editor in chief. And so he fucking hated me. And like, again, this was not why, it was not like I was writing A papers and I was getting C minuses. But it was like I was writing C minus papers and getting D's. You know, like it was, you know, he was never giving me the benefit of the doubt.
My favorite papers I just wrote about Splinter Cell and Tomb Raider. It was good time.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Look
everyone
who's
check their
finally here.
spoons. Yeah.
Happy to be here. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, we see you in high definition.
I'm sorry. I tried to get somewhere where there was better internet connection so you could see my beautiful face. I know that you missed me, Jeremy.
Well,
No one has missed you ever in their life, Seamus. Let's be
Seamus,
honest.
no, Seamus and I, we have a deep connection. I do miss him. He is like
likewise.
Yeah, he is like my after photo. I have him up, and when I'm like not eating at night, when I'm like doing my intermittent fasting, I'm like, this is the guy. I want to be shredded like Seamus. That's what it says on the thing. Actually,
Seamus, can I start a workout podcast?
Oh my gosh, Seamus, your fitness podcast would be amazing.
You know, it's really funny. After I got married, I started getting a little bit heavier. I was skinnier.
That's your wife's fault.
This.
Yep.
And no, it is. We first got married, and I was like, is she like shrinking my clothing in the dryer? I actually thought my clothing was getting smaller, and then I stepped on a scale, which I don't usually do, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh.
No, her
Are you
cooking's
sure?
just that good.
Yeah, are you sure your wife?
She's basically good at everything. By the way, I'm getting
Nice.
an echo surge. I'm like hearing myself.
Yeah, I hear it too. You're like doubled audio.
Oh, really? You guys can hear me echoing too?
It's just it sounds like
Slightly.
muffled or something.
It's
Hearing
really
my
funny.
voice is bad enough. I don't want you to have to hear it twice. So let's try to get this fixed. I
Yeah.
apologize.
No, we'll work through it. It's definitely. It's like you just sound kind of muffled.
You want to
Um,
hear my favorite someone thinking they're intentionally fattening their husband story while we work on James's
Okay,
audio?
let's hear it.
A girl that I was friends with in middle school, her mom was completely convinced that Paula Dean was intentionally trying to fatten her husband. And she would be like,
you
"Look,
mean suspected racist Paula Dean?
suspected racist Paula Dean." This
Yeah.
lady was like, she's injecting extra butter into his sandwiches.
That's
And
so
she would like,
cynical.
we'd see different seasons. She'd be like, look, he's put on 50 pounds. She's doing it on purpose, which I just thought was the funniest conspiracy theory
It sounds
I've ever
complete
heard.
conspiracy theory.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't think the concept of extra butter exists for Paula Dean. I think any amount of butter for her is the proper amount.
That's
Didn't
true.
she-
Yes, that's true.
Didn't she kind of get like her cancellation was a little suspect? It wasn't quite as bad as Papa John's, but hers was like I think she was like literally that old timey and like I forget what it was. It wasn't a great quote. It was like
oust her. I feel like they wanted her empire to fall so that she could be replaced by like Rachel Ray or someone else.
Yeah,
Remember her getting
she did say something like, I want a bunch of these little N-words like dressed up, or it was something bad.
To be racist. Come on.
I'm looking it up.
If you're old, like it,
I don't think Paula Dean said that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Melanie.
If old
now you're doubling
racist,
worse.
something's wrong.
Yeah, now you're feeding back through.
Okay, what about now?
That's better.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys.
All good.
It's not good. I expect more from you, man. I vouched for you.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm trying to find this. Hold on. Paula Dean, it's DEN. I'm trying to think what it was. Oh yeah, the N-word. Yeah, see, I was right. Never question me when it comes to food related trivia.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She said, and I quote, well, actually I don't want to quote it, but she said,
you need me to quote it?
Yeah, Melanie, this is where you got me fucking banned from Twitch for a week.
Did I really?
Yes, you did. And they did, and they immediately rejected my appeal too. I was like,
no!
I don't even know what it was, but it was a day you were on, and so I just assumed you said it. And like
probably,
but
you know what?
You've been so good about it though. I feel like I don't think you've.
Well, it's the community guy there. The lead of community used to be my YouTube manager, and he identifies as they them now. So
yeah.
he's like watching everything I do with an eagle eye and banning me everywhere.
She said, Paul Dean admitted to using racial slurs and expressed a desire to have a Southern plantation style wedding with black servers. During their testimony in the lawsuit by former restaurant manager, Dean was asked if she'd ever used the N-word. She said, yes, of course. Based. Okay, first of all,
that's the thing is old people, it was such a normal word back then. Like,
yeah.
It's yeah.
I still think it was like a stretch. Like she was 100. She wanted slaves to serve her wedding dinner. I mean, like,
but did
like,
she actually
not actual slaves. I think she just wanted like a plantation style wedding with like free black men and women, but like they would have been. It was like a racist cosplay. It's a little.
For me, racist. It's like you got to give old people a little bit of slack. Cut them some slack. Times have changed.
My dad used to say coloreds, and I was like, Dad, you can't say that. He's like, what do you mean?
Thing. Someone who comes to the third world can't be judged based on modern standards, but somebody who actually lived in the past has to be.
That's true. That's not fair.
It's not
That's
fair.
not fair. Yeah.
Justice for Paula Dean. I'm with you.
It's like she came from a different culture. The past.
Exactly.
A lot had changed in her lifetime. Like most people, there's a few fads that happen within language. Now it's like every year there's like a new vernacular that is either okay or not okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't think a lot changed from 1940 to 1960. Like they were still calling black people coloreds for that entire era.
Like,
you know?
well, and they 2000s and 2020, a ton changed. Like that, the same 20-year span, completely different.
That's the crazy thing is now it's like, oh, now you can say people of color, but you can't say colored. It's like,
you
what's
can't say
the
colored
difference?
people.
I
You
know,
can't say colored
it's like
people, but you can say people of color.
Why
Look,
is this?
like
why
we
are
said
we playing
before,
with politics so
language is
much?
extremely powerful. You have to use it carefully, I guess. No,
Seamus,
I mean,
what's your favorite Irish slur, Seamus?
Oh, dude, there's too many of them.
Yeah.
So there's a couple. I learned a few of them as a child so I could learn what was going to get me that free lawsuit money if it was used against me. They said, these are the words that if a teacher ever calls you this. No, I think like the classic is pig shit Irish.
Yes,
that's what they say. Am I allowed to say it, by the way? I don't know if I'll get you banned.
You're good. No, you're okay.
That's Melanie's job.
Yeah,
that's Melanie's
job.
Yeah, you're good.
I think slurs get you in trouble. But that one,
you're not calling anyone
There's
that.
a number of very ugly words that have been used to besmirch my people through history.
Well, people forget like just how persecuted the Irish were in New York during the early. They would literally ban the Irish from. They didn't want to hire them. They didn't want.
Understandable though.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's talk about the word hillbilly, which is all about the Scotch-Irish settlers in Appalachia, right? Like that was one of the most persecuted racial classes in America for a long time. And in fact, no one ever really gave them any rectification. I would be happy to play, what is it? What do they want?
Oppression Olympics?
Yes, I would be happy in the Oppression Olympics where the Appalachians are allowed to compete. No, I mean, it is interesting because it's like a lot of racial slurs people just like forgot. They were like, who cares about it? This doesn't matter.
Right.
We need to bring them back, though.
Person to lead your campaign. What do you want to bring back?
Well, I mean, I think like, you know, obviously a candidate that's been people have tried to bring back is Porch Monkey, but like that one is a little on the nose. You know, I think. Yeah, I think that one's actually racist.
That's bad. Yeah.
Exactly. But
I think we want to push back against all the ridiculousness where people call literally everything and everyone racist all the time. But we don't want to actually cross back into that territory of being genuinely racist.
True.
Right. Yeah, I want to bring back like racial terms of endearment.
Yes, I love it. Slurs of endearment.
Yeah, can we bring back like, look, I can say this because I'm married to a Sicilian. Can we like bring back WAP? Is that too far? Like, you WAP bastard.
I think whichever female rapper ruined that.
Now I know. Yeah.
That's WAP. This is WAP. WOP.
Okay.
Maybe you should bring it back.
Yeah. No, I'm not the man to do it. To be honest, Seamus, I don't know if you knew this. You are among slur royalty. I will say, like, one day Webster's dictionary will define like the resurgence of is because of Melanie Mack. I hear it everywhere now.
That is true.
I grew up in the 90s.
Paved the way.
Yeah, she walked so we could all run. I grew up in the 90s. We used the bundle of sticks word
all the time.
Then it just was like, you can't say this. Then Melanie's like eating butter on like Instagram, and she's like, I'm just gonna say it. And then the whole word, like hard R, not the N word, but like hard R F word, you know? And I was like, I hear it all the time now. I hear it on Kill Tony.
On Elon Musk's X platform before it started. I mean, still you can get throttled for it, but no, I got straight up banned for it.
It's funny, people always complain. Big accounts can say it, but small accounts can't. Like, I can say it. I can tweet out the word, the F slur word, and it'll get like it'll eventually get flagged. But then, like, most of the comments are like, "What the hell? I can't say that." Like, well, I don't know. I mean, the more you pay, the more freedom of speech you get. I guess. I don't know.
Oh man, that sounds like a dystopian nightmare. Yeah, I think Seamus might be switching to his phone. He's worried about the audio.
It was like two and a half years ago or something when I first dropped it, and then it was like, ban unless you delete it. Your account's locked forever. So I had to delete it, and it was But then after that, it was like, okay, I kept trying to get away with it. And then it was like, okay, now all of a sudden, hey, I feel like my account got approved to say this word now.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to stop, so we might as well give up.
You've been whitelisted for the F slur.
What's your comeback advice for Paula Dean then? Because like, she got
you got to own it. You got to own it.
Yeah, exactly.
So she should like triple down?
Yeah, triple down.
Just have fun with it. Show that there was no malicious intent behind it. Because at the end of the day, I feel like with a lot of these words and jokes or whatever, or wedding celebrations, whatever that event was, as long as your intentions aren't malicious, like, let's stop being offended over everything. And that's how it is.
I unironically use that term. I have a couple of friends that are flamboyantly gay. Yeah. And like, I will use that term with them exclusively. Yeah. Like if they do something very gay, like I'm like, dude. And then they're like, I know. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, but like, I don't think, right. I mean, I don't want to go straight for the N-word here, but like, again, saying it shouldn't be taboo. Calling someone it, I think is not okay. But like,
right, and
that's true of all slurs. And
that's the thing.
By the way, sorry, I'm gonna actually. We can't get the audio figured out. I'm gonna jump in from my phone.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, all good. But yeah, here's the thing: is with the N-word is like if you make it okay. you can't say this, then they shouldn't be saying it in their music all the time.
I agree with that.
And everything else, because then it's like, you can't take a word and say, well, we can say it, but you can't. I don't care what group it is. You either have to agree as a society that this word is inappropriate universally, or
it's
everybody
either all
can
okay
say
or none
it.
of it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And treat it like any other word that, hey, if you are meaning this in a malicious way, that's rude. You're a jerk. But if you don't mean it in a malicious way, what's the big deal?
I mean, there was a girl in the UK that like had her life ruined by quoting a rap song that the N-word was in. Like
you remember that video of the college girl getting pulled up on stage at some rap concert?
Yeah.
And so she says it and he like berates her up there.
Yeah. He's like, you can't say that. It's like,
wow.
You understand. This is the one thing about like, I won't say all black rappers because I don't know what all black rappers' opinions are about white people singing their lyrics. But I will tell you, get fucked if you're going to be upset about it. You are white people are 85 to 90% of your overall revenue.
Exactly.
Like they're the only people buying your records. They're the people who are paying money to see your concerts, and they're buying your merch. And if you don't want white people to sing the word in your lyrics, then you can't put it in there. I won't censor myself if I'm like singing along with a song. Get fucked.
Of course,
I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going to do that. And like that guy probably could have got that person killed, because we all know how a certain percentage of the population acts when they feel disrespected. Usually people get stabbed or, any number of other things. But we have Pam Bondi today while we wait for Potato Man to figure out his audio. I think the reason it sounded muffled is because it was a doubling on his side, and we were like getting a little feedback.
I think so. We're hearing it from his headphones a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So we had Pam Bondi on Capitol Hill today responding to these things. By the way, I hate to be that guy, but like, there's going to be a big one that Melanie and I should probably be watching closely, and that's not going to be on October 10th. When is the Twitch CEO going to be there? He's going to be there. Like,
we do.
That's
need to
coming up.
That.
Yeah, maybe we need to live stream it or something. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's coming up. But like, these things go nowhere. They produce a bunch of viral moments for whoever, It's why Trey Gowdy is so popular. No one could tell you a single law he passed or anything he did, but he did great at these Senate grillings. Ted Cruz kind of made for himself a name for himself with, doing well at these. Pam Bondi's up there, like, here's her talking to Adam Schiff. Oh, you probably don't hear it. Hold on.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Doobie doobie doo. Okay. I mean, Pam Bondi sucks. I'm over her. There's not a lot she could do right now to make me like be a Pam Bondi fan, but here's a clip of her.
In which members of Congress can get serious answers to serious questions about
the riots in LA serious?
About the cover-up of corruption, about the prosecution of the president's enemies. And
I think you owe the president an apology.
When will it be
Your entire career,
that the members of this committee are in a bipartisan?
By the way, this camera person clearly is on the wrong person. They fell asleep on the job. This is Adam Schiff.
Basis demand answers to those questions and refuse to accept.
Clearly, you're a failed lawyer
refuse
because
to accept,
you don't understand when someone can and cannot answer a question.
Refuse to accept personal slander.
And what is this? And then like this is just red me like Pam Bondi cooks Adam Schiff. Did she?
I didn't think that was as strong as when she went up for her confirmation hearings. I mean,
yeah, she did not.
They all are trying to make political points here, but it's not that interesting.
Yeah, there's this other clip. This one, Senator Dick Durbin's going to regret asking. Okay, well, let's see.
The word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Okay, that was pretty good.
That was good.
Better.
Yeah.
That was
One's
better.
famous. He's from Chicago. Get his take on it.
Oh yeah, here we go. I like the upskirt shot here we got. Here we go. Yeah.
I'm in here. Can you guys hear me?
Much better.
Yeah.
Much
You like
better.
the lens flare directed by Michael Bay? Look at
That's
this.
great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back. Sorry, I have those audio issues made it like impossible.
No, you're good
but
now.
It's my fault. It's my fault because I was late to this. What we're talking about? I heard
We're talking about that
Bondi in Chicago. So yeah, I mostly grew up in the suburbs, but as everyone from Chicago knows, if you grew up in the suburbs, you have to say you're from Chicago to steal street credits, like a stolen valor thing, and then people who are like were actually raised there get super mad at you. That's a joke. Don't do that. Don't be disrespectful.
By the way,
don't culturally appropriate and disrespect other cultures.
That's true of Milwaukee too, to be clear.
Every city, dude. And and I grew up like probably 15 minutes outside, and I had a lot of extended family in the city. So I spent a lot. We did live there when I was really little. I did have a lot of family out there, so I've got a lot of experience with the city. And the reality is, dude, no one who lives there is going to tell you it's some safe, wonderful utopia that doesn't need increased policing. I have family members who have been victims of very severe violent crimes. And so when you have these lefties who will go to the Bean and snap a selfie downtown and go, oh, I feel so unsafe in Chicago. I'm like, dude, I have a cousin who was almost beat to death in the alley behind his house.
Right,
Don't
on his way
live
home.
here and act like this is a safe city. You're not doing a service to, you're doing a massive disservice to people who actually have to live with this stuff on a day-to-day basis.
Isn't that funny? I use the terminology like these people that live in these cities are held hostage by them.
That's right.
Like, they don't have the money to leave, and they don't have like the social clout. Like, there's like, if I go to Milwaukee, look, the shitty areas in Milwaukee are largely black people, but there's also a shitload of like other races that are stuck there too. But they don't vote, and if they do vote, they vote Democrat because that's the way they've been programmed to. But it's like, you know, the governor's some rich white liberal gay dude in Milwaukee, and like, he doesn't fucking live there. He doesn't live there.
So that's the other thing too. Like in those neighborhoods, I've lived in neighborhoods that had really high black populations before, and the vast majority of the black people there do not like the shenanigans of the ones who are out there committing crime. So even though in the media they show you all this BLM race solidarity stuff, the reality is your average black person living in a rough area isn't like, oh, I think the thugs and gangsters are so cool. They're like, these people are terrorizing us, and the police need to do something about this. The government needs to do something about this.
Yeah, I find like, what do you make? I'll go to Hannah Claire and then Melanie. What, you know, how do you? This is something I'm really passionate about because I know people that live like in Milwaukee. They're like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't rent anywhere else. I can't afford to move. And, you know, I'm not there's lots of people who are, I guess you could encourage people to get more politically involved, but it's really hard to sell people on, hey, this is going to get better in 100 years because that's how long it's going to take. When you have these deep blue cities, like, I don't know how you save them without the federal government, which we talked about on Monday. It kind of gives me the ick a little bit, but like, without the federal government coming in there and like protecting these citizens, I don't know how the hell you get people excited to vote so their kids have a better life, because the people don't care because they're trying to pay the rent. They're trying to get enough food to pay, you know what I mean? No matter what skin color they are, they're just trying to get by. They don't have time for politics and for getting involved.
Well, and I also think you can't be like, yeah, if you just vote, it will get better, because most change from any government, federal or state, takes a long time. Like, it's not like you cast your vote and the next day the crime is solved. I know, you know, you could look at what Trump has done with sending a National Guard in DC. I know people did feel like there was a pretty immediate effect there, but for the most part,
you didn't see any DC residents. There weren't too many DC residents that are like, oh shit, I can walk to my car now safely without getting robbed. This is an outrage. They were like,
this is bad. We don't like military presence. But then, like, they never said they didn't like the results of having a safer city. But for the most part, if you're someone, you know, of any race who lives in a, you know, an economically depressed neighborhood in an inner city, and you, let's say, own your home, I bet that home was purchased believing it would be an asset for your family, believing that the value would go up.
That's such another, I don't want to interrupt, but that's such a smart, good Hannah Claire point. Home ownership is most people's like dream wealth, right? It's like it's the consolidation of almost all their wealth. When they die, that's what they hope to pass on or whatever. What happens is these people buy homes and then they buy them for $50,000 and now they can't fucking sell them because nobody, and so they have to pay them. So everything they had went into owning a home. It was their dream, and now it's worthless.
Well, that's right. I mean, and there have been studies that have been done on this in examinations that were done on the statistics from the initial, like the racial riots of the 1960s and 70s. And they found that the average cost of the average home in the areas where those riots occurred stayed depressed. And even at the time when they were doing this analysis, it still hadn't risen up to be at the same level as other houses in similar areas where you didn't have those riots. And it was the same thing with 2020 and the BLM riots. We talked a lot about the businesses that got burnt down and the people who died, and that's all very important. But it's also important to remember that there is just a massive unquantifiable loss in terms of the stultified property values of the houses in those areas that people had to mortgage their entire future to have an opportunity to live in.
Right, now they're just letting the bank take it.
Yes.
Because they're like, why would I pay a mortgage on a house that is worthless? It's almost hard to blame them. Then they just go ahead, Melanie.
Yeah, and that reminds me too of whenever what town was that? Like in Ohio or something, when they brought in all of those immigrants who were eating the cats and the dogs.
Springfield?
Yes. Yeah. All of a sudden, these people's home values just plummeted overnight after a situation like that happened. So it's just like things like this can just be a huge cautionary tale for how we vote. And if you're in a place that you don't have to worry about all this stuff, like be grateful for it and be very cautious about how you're voting so that it doesn't turn into that.
That's why local politics are so important.
Yeah, that's where everyone gets started there.
Into our neighborhood. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're right. Well, look what happened in Chicago, right? Like, this is the thing, like white liberal women are probably the most damaging force in this country because like, they're the ones that get the airtime. But if you really went down to Chicago, remember, I don't know if you still have family there, Seamus, or not, but like, remember when they brought in all the migrants and they put them in all their like rec centers and the inner city rec centers and shit?
I remember when the people that lived there were like park up with migrants, and I was like, listen, I've spent time in Brighton Park. I know that area, and it's like, that place, Brighton Park didn't need a bunch of migrants dropped in, all right? Like, if there were things that Brighton Park needed the Chicago city government to be doing for them, it was not dropping a bunch of migrants in.
Well, and they took their resources. So when they interviewed people that actually lived there, they were like, great. I used to send my kids used to go to the rec center after school so that they could have a safe place to be before I got home from work or whatever. Now it's full of migrants and they can't go there. Or you would hear them say, well, the city isn't, approving my financial assistance because they're giving it to these. Like, the biggest lie ever told is that inner city people want this shit.
They don't. That's right.
They don't want it.
People who live, it's like people who buy $10 mochas and click away on their MacBook at Starbucks who are hipsters gentrifying the area want this stuff. Yeah. But the people living in these areas, and by the way, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, put like this left-wing framework out there. They're like, oh, people who are impoverished are all great people, and people with more money are all bad people. Good and evil, is a battle in the human heart. We all have flaws. We all have struggles.
True.
And yes, there are poor people who do join gangs, who do break the law, who do bad things. But the vast majority of them are not. And that's why it's so frustrating because you can lock up a pretty small number of people and solve the vast majority of the crime problem in most of these areas and make these cities livable for the people who have no choice but to live there because they don't have the economic resources to move. But secondly, your average person doesn't like living around that. They don't like their reputation being staked in that. And so it's unfortunate because we've created this narrative that like, people who are poor are a literal slave to their socioeconomic status and therefore incapable of making choices based on rational thinking or good morality, which isn't true. But then that thinking is used to tell the poor people who are intelligent, who are hardworking, who do want to have a good life for their families. It's used to tell them, well, actually, the other poor people who live near you, they just couldn't help it but break the law, so we can't throw them in jail.
That's the meme that went viral the other day. Did you see that going around? Like, well, Your Honor, my client was too stupid to know that killing somebody was wrong, and the judge is like, oh yeah, you make a good point. Let him back out. It's
That's
like
insane.
Yeah,
well, this is why we need to go back to what the standards were for getting people committed to mental institutions.
We need to bring those back.
Prior to prior to the 70s and the whole Foucaultian deinstitutionalization movement, the standard for getting somebody placed in a mental institution was that they were incapable of taking care of themselves. And by the way, as an adult, if you are truly incapable of caring for yourself, yes, that is an indication that you are a mentally unstable and dangerous person. Then they changed the standard to is a danger to themselves or others. Now, the problem with that standard is by the time you've proven that, it's already too late. And also, even when that is proven, we don't put them in mental institutions.
Well, Irenia died because of the constant moving goalposts of basically saying the uncomfortable truth of like, look, this person, I don't care what skin color they are, right? Because everyone's always racist. I don't give a fuck. If you've been arrested, I firmly believe that we should bring back, if you've been arrested of 3 or more violent crimes, it should be life in prison or 20 years in prison. Just that's it. 3 or more, you can't live in society anymore. Go ahead.
Sorry, you're totally talking. I do not want to interrupt you. I feel bad.
No, it's all right. I am, but like I interrupt people all the time. But just to wrap up that thought is like, I often cannot articulate as well as everyone else on this panel does that I feel like people think I hate like inner cities, or I feel bad for those people. Yeah. Like they're fucking like people who have never actually gone to the city and talked to people who are just scraping by have no idea. Like I grew up like, we weren't rich, but we weren't poor, but I had friends of all backgrounds. I used to go into Milwaukee all the time. I've seen how it has gone downhill. And the people of Milwaukee will tell you that they're basically being terrorized by 1% or 0.5% of the population. If we had the balls to look, I understand the way that the mental institutions back in the day were run were not great, but that doesn't mean you throw them out. Like if the question is, well, we don't know what to do with these people, they belong in a mental institution, but we don't want to throw them in prison, then you need to have a place to have them because the rest of us are being forced to get stabbed by them because somebody's uncomfortable about it.
Yeah. Everything becomes a mental institution if they're not placed in them.
Yeah. I do want to take a second.
You don't like San Francisco's solution by having just like a safe zone where people who are mentally ill and also maybe addicted to drugs can hang out. Like
I know.
It doesn't seem like the Tenderloin District is doing that well from what I know. I think one of the challenges is like the people who are saying this is for the best and you can't say that and you can't talk about these issues are totally out of touch. I mean, I remember having kind of a similar conversation with someone about immigration and the fact that like, I actually think one of the worst things is that if you're saying like, oh, people won't come to America, like we need people to come to America and pick produce, agriculture. You're actually forcing them to be paid at low wages, often in dangerous work environments because of heat and everything else. And you're also not encouraging farms to embrace technology, which I thought we were all supposed to do. Obviously, I resist, boomer always. But the idea was the person was saying like, well, Americans won't do those jobs. It's like,
we only did them for the last 200 fucking years.
Yeah, right.
What are you
also,
talking about?
Your parents are going to pay for you to go to college and will probably pay for your apartment for the next couple of years after that. Like you would not do this job, but you also don't have to. You aren't under any of these economic circumstances, and you probably have no contact with anyone who is. Don't tell me what the average American is.
I challenge any one of these fuckwads to go to their state fair at like 4 or 5 in the morning when all the people come to look at the livestock, and you will see hundreds or thousands of your local community that is out right now doing these jobs.
Yep.
Like it's crazy. Like my brother-in-law's a farmer, and like I see lots of people that are happy to pick stones and to pick crops and do all this kind of stuff. He doesn't have any illegals working for him. Like he's just got other farm boys and kids who are working their first job. That's what I did. I loaded and unloaded trucks full of hay bales. The baler would launch the bales into the back of the truck. They would drive it to the hayloft, and I would get paid $20 a cart. And I would unload the entire fucking thing onto a conveyor belt. And then another friend of mine was up top, and he would load. Like, there's lots of people who would do that work. Is it like a long-term career? No, but not every. It's the same people that are like,
But it can.
McDonald's shall pay me a salary.
That's
No,
right.
it's a job. It's not a career. You do it for a little while.
I have a lot of family members, like extended family members, cousins, uncles who did a lot of farmhand work.
Nothing wrong with
a lot
it.
of them still do it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all. And it's not just illegal immigrants doing it. Like I've
That's
seen
a
a ton of it in
stereotype.
my own
It doesn't have to be
family.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I bought my first PlayStation unloading and unloading hay bales.
It's
That's
important to
how,
have a job like that when you're young too. And
Yeah.
this is one of the things that drives me crazy about a lot of the leftist rhetoric surrounding some of these more menial low-wage jobs is they'll say there's no reason I shouldn't be able to make a living wage doing this for the rest of my life. But in that moment, they're actually failing to take themselves seriously, because the reality is there are certain jobs that don't provide enough value to the economy to sustain a person's entire lifestyle. And the reason for that is actually not because we don't think that person is valuable. It's because we think they're too valuable to stay in that job forever. The kind of value you're going to add to the economy as a barista is not the kind of value you're going to be able to add to the economy if you spend several years studying and then you do a job that we really need people to do. There are these entry-level jobs that you don't need any kind of formal education to do. You can be taught to do on your first day. And we don't want you in one of those jobs forever, because we know that as you live out your life, you're going to learn more things, and then you're going to be able to put your experience to better use than being a barista. So what we want you to do is study something or develop a skill or start a business. And the push we're giving you to do so is not ensuring that all of your bills are paid by being a barista alone. It's actually for you, and it's for society, so that you can move on to something more productive that allows all of us, yourself included, to maximize your potential as a person.
Well, they're screwing up the conveyor belt too. A lot of these people are like, I want to go work at Starbucks. I want to work there until I'm 50. I'm like, no, that's a 16-year-old girl's job.
That's also
Like,
true. Yeah, then the kid doesn't get a job.
Then the kid doesn't get a job because there's nowhere to work, because they're and now Starbucks has to pay this dork $17, $18, $19 an hour instead of a 16-year-old $12 an hour, and the whole system fucks. Now I'm paying $8, $9, $10 for a coffee. Kids, I'm supposed to see a pimply faced kid giving me my McDonald's food. When I see an elderly person, I feel fucking horrible. Not elderly, less bad with elderly, but like
elderly's fine, but like,
yeah, when it's like somebody who's in their 30s and 40s,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, you shouldn't be here. Like, this is not.
My local Pizza Hut here is like almost all run by elderly women, and they are the nicest, sweetest ladies. It's so
they're just supplementing. They're supplementing.
That's different.
You know, yeah. There's a couple comments, and then I want to get to an announcement from Seamus here. Netflix says, Seamus and Mel together take my money. This guy says Astrocast is the best Astrocast, although it's close to Testrocast now. We've got two.
I know, look at that.
Evened it
No,
out.
Astrocast
Yeah.
always. Melanie,
The
don't
scales are being balanced.
Yeah. Do I get access to Discord for joining Rumble, or does it have to be for joining the Quartercast site? You could join either way. Either way. So if you join Rumble using my link, just email me and I'll get you in the Discord. This guy says, Seamus is here. Hide the spoons. Nephilim says, Packers suck. Long live the Redskins. I don't think either team's very good right now, but go Brewers. Doug Gardner says, I heard Paula Dean is with Mossad. Well, I mean, I have to prove you wrong. I'd have to prove you wrong. I know that's the standard we live by now, Hannah Claire. You just get to say something and everyone else has to prove you wrong. Otherwise, it's a fact. Roberto says, the number of spoons in my house suddenly reduced by half. I can't figure out why. Well, we all know that. We don't know where Seamus was when Matthew Crooks' parents' silverware disappeared. That's still one of the greatest mysteries. Thomas Matthew Crooks.
You guys know me. You know I would never do that. You know I wouldn't do that. You guys know I wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah.
Seamus, what are the odds that you release a limited edition run of spoons that people can buy?
I would never do that.
You wouldn't have any to release.
I would never do something like that. That's sick.
That's also to imply that Seamus' spoon supply is limited, which we all know it isn't.
Well, I just meant specialty, like engraved, something like that. But, you know, maybe he has to keep it
You
for
could
himself.
sell spoon rings.
The case against me is really falling apart, because Jeremy just said, theoretically, my spoon supply is unlimited. And if that were the case, there'd be no motive to take spoons. So I don't know.
Well, greed is a powerful motivator, Seamus.
I'll be releasing text messages later. You guys all know that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they're 100% real. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to get Seamus's opinion on that, but I do want, before we get into the spicy topic that may divide people, I do also want to shout out to a couple of messages over on Rumble. Jay Blizzy says, something I was looking for last week that was what pays the best percentage to you on Rumble. It seems web-based subscription gives 97% and doing so via app only 70 rep. That's correct. Using the web app is best because otherwise Apple or Android takes 30%. That's a hardcore fan. That's like, I want to support you, but I want to make sure you get the most of it. Also, I feel like there's a significant amount more of certain type of female energy when Luke is on here versus Astrocast. Tuesdays and Thursdays are a relief.
Or Luke caught a stray.
Yeah, Luke catching strays. I thought somebody also paid to roast the cast, and I want to shout out. I think those are the best kind of rants. I said, a bystander said, quartering crew, give central government more power to keep you safe. It's the only way. Look, I'm not saying that that's the solution. I'm just saying I feel the only real solution is getting people to vote, probably, but I don't know.
I don't think there's a single point solution. I think there's a lot of stuff that has to change.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Seamus also is involved with this
in the arts.
In the arts, yeah. He's a bit of a it, but he does.
You're gonna scare Seamus away. He doesn't like bad language.
I bleeped it out.
I don't know if that's enough, Jeremy.
So you may know, recently just passed 1 million subscribers, and he produces a show called Freedom Tunes, which is incredible, and the amount of work that goes into it is wild. It must really burn him up inside that no matter what he does, it would take him hundreds of hours to make a 10-minute video, and it will never make as much as me making a 10-minute video that takes exactly 10 minutes to make reading someone else's article. That is his cross to bear, and now he's decided that he wants to take his program to the next level with his new Twisted Plots program. Do you want to, I guess it's going to be a show. Let people know what's going on with this.
So basically, we have spent the last 11 years making Freedom Tunes. I started the channel when I was 19 years old. I've accumulated a fantastic team. We're a very well-oiled machine. We're able to churn these videos out in a week, sometimes more quickly than that. And basically no one else on YouTube is doing animated content that often. And
because YouTube financially disincentivizes it, right? That's a big part of it.
But
or they
YouTube
just freeboot you.
Exactly. YouTube doesn't pay per view; they pay per minute watched. So if it takes 100 hours to make a 1 or 2 minute cartoon, which it often does in more than that, you're only getting 2 minutes worth of view pay for 100 hours of work. Whereas if you do an hour-long stream, it's an hour for an hour of work. That said, there's prep that goes into an hour-long stream, but it's just not the kind of work that goes in animation.
That's why there isn't much of it, because people can't pay the bills to make it. Like, you get what you incentivize,
And that's part of why I'm confident that we're going to be able to make this show. So people don't realize how expensive animation is, and I'll just kind of break down the costs. An episode of The Simpsons from start to finish costs $5 million, and it takes 9 months. For Family Guy, it's $2 million. It takes 6 months. Even South Park, it's like $500,000 to $1 million per episode. And that's a really simple animation style. Season 1 of South Park, as crude as that animation was, it was $250,000 per episode, and that's in $1997. The reason it's so expensive is because you need a lot of people working around the clock in order to get this stuff done. And that's also part of why very few people are doing it on YouTube. But with very clever budgeting and a really dedicated team, we've been able to consistently churn out content. And I think it's time for us to take the next step. A lot of conservatives have said they want to shape culture and they want to make new shows in comedy and animation. But the problem is a lot of these organizations don't have experience doing it. We have been surviving and thriving in the very cutthroat algorithmic YouTube space and producing this content. So I am confident, and we've done the accounting, we've been in pre-development, we're going to be able to get our entire first season done for the amount it costs to make 1 episode of South Park. It's going to be a 5-episode long season. It's an animated anthology series. It's a comedy series. It tackles modern issues. We try to go through and discuss the different angles of various moral dilemmas you might have in the modern world and just lampoon different modern topics. And I'm very happy with how it's turning out, but you don't have to take my word for it. We've actually already finished the 25-minute long pilot episode. So if you go to twistedplots.com and you donate at any level, you will have instant access to the pilot. If you do this before 3:30 p.m. Central Time, you'll have access. After that, the pilot is only available to people who donate 25 or more. So if you go to the website now and you donate now, you'll be able to see the pilot now. It's a special promotion we were running for the first 24 hours of the campaign. The first 24 hours is almost up. So this show, it's going to be awesome. It's going to help to shape culture. Again, I'm right wing, I'm conservative, but the show doesn't deliver its message in this preachy, overbearing way. We really want the moral to come out through the story and through the jokes.
We all remember. Does anybody remember that astroturfed, terrible, cringe?
Yes.
Nobody even really knew who was funding it.
Yes.
This, if you've seen Freedom Tunes, and by the way, I will back for $1,000 minimum.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I want my character in the show as a it says for $1,000 you get a caricature that we use for an extra. Yeah, that's what I want.
If you give $1,000 and
watch this, I'll do it right now.
We'll reach out to you.
I love it.
We'll get an image. Yeah, we'll get an image that get drawn up, and we'll send it back to you. And then we have a file that we're gonna have for different extras. And when there needs to be a background character, we will draw from that file.
Love it.
Well, Jeremy is really easy to draw, so
he just has to be like
That's right.
3 times as tall as everyone else.
Well,
We probably will for that perk. I'm sure we're gonna, and I'll talk to legal entertainment. We probably have to have people sign like creative releases or something to put themselves in the show. But yeah, we'll for that tier, we'll get you drawn up. We'll send you the paperwork to sign. We'll get you in the show. Yeah, we'll put you in his background.
Love it.
Just so people know, I think that this is a great cause, and I think that we need more content. And look, I know the Daily Wire tried to kind of do this with their show or whatever. It wasn't. I don't know if they're still doing Ben Key, but I still believe in their cause. This is actually good shit. He's actually established a following. Before I ever knew who Seamus was, I knew Freedom Tunes.
Yeah, I've seen Freedom Tunes before.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
So
It's okay.
I've definitely, I've seen better, but
But we like your message. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, his message is good. But it sucks that there used to be, for old heads out there, there used to be a lot more animation available on YouTube.
It was good times back then, but sadly, and I remember way back on Newgrounds days. Did you ever go to Newgrounds? Man,
yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Iconic. Good times.
Yeah,
but sadly, and we used to see so much more creativity and stuff because people love to watch animations and before YouTube changed their monetization strategies, it was you could get rewarded for it, but they killed it.
And our
I think people used to do YouTube and stuff for fun. And I think that's what's interesting about Seamus' story is you were always creative, you were always artistic, and it has developed into this natural product that you are able to scale up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's an important part of this because I think what happens with a lot of different conservative organizations is they get really ambitious and their heart's in the right place and they say, we need good media in order to change culture. But then the problem is they bite off more than they can chew, or they don't have the experience creating content. They say, we have this startup, we've got all these millions of dollars, we're going to make this many shows and this many movies. I think it's really important if you want to start with a really solid product to start modestly. This is an ambitious project, but we're not launching a bunch of shows, right? We're not launching a bunch of movies. I believe that if this first season is successful, that's where we're headed. The goal is with this first season, this will establish us as a serious creative company that doesn't just make shorts, it makes long form content. And we are able to make movies, we're able to make shows. We're going to be able to use this to move out into making feature-length films, into making other shows. And this is going to be the crown jewel of that. This is going to be our first long-form production. So if you guys give to this, you are going to be giving to the future of conservative entertainment, of right-wing entertainment, and of entertainment that just takes the audience seriously and is good and is made by a small, dedicated crew that actually cares about it. Even if you have no ideological motivation, even if you have no political reasons to want to support something like this, just having an animated show that's made by a tight-knit team of people who've been working together for a long time and have a good workflow and are passionate about the project is really important, because most of the stuff that's made today is just corporate slop.
Yep.
I've written every single thing that's been done for the show so far has been something I've written, and I'm the person who built the animation studio and the lead animator. So it's not like we have the writers and animators in different departments not communicating. Like, it's me and then it's my team, and I give the script to the animators and we talk about funnier things we can add and other things we can do to enhance the quality. And as we're working on it, people go, what if we did this joke? Or what if we added that visual gag? And so just having a small, tight-knit team like this also ensures that the project is like of a much higher quality.
Love it.
Seamus, what's the plot?
Yeah, so it's an anthology series, basically. Every single episode is a completely different story. And so our first season is going to be 5 episodes, including the pilot. Like I said, we're not going to be releasing the pilot for a little while, but anyone who donates today within the first 24 hours of our campaign, so within the next 2 or 3 hours.
Where's my pilot, Seamus? I donate. Here's my $1,000. It's in there. Where's my pilot?
Are you trying to stream the pilot live on Quartercast?
If you put your email and everything in, it's going to get sent to you. So it'll get sent to you with the password and everything. You're going to be able to watch it. And that offer is good till 3:30 p.m. Central.
90 minutes.
90 minutes. So get that. If you guys want to check it out, if you want to watch it, please help us make a really strong first 24 hours, because the first 24 hours of a crowdfunding campaign is instrumental in whether it's successful. Right. If you're able to get to like 30% in the first 24 hours, right? The thing is, if you're able to get to 20% in the first 24 hours, your chances of success are 80 to 90%. We're about 22 to 23 hours in, and we've got just over 20. We've got 22% in, which is absolutely huge. But in order to keep up the momentum, if we're able to get to 25%, 30% within the first 24 hours, that's going to be absolutely massive. And that kind of work and momentum put in at the beginning can actually result in us not only more easily meeting our goal, but more easily exceeding our goal. And if we exceed our goal, we're going to be able to make even more content. We're going to be able to make the shows even better. We're going to be able to put more time and energy into the animation. So I really want to encourage everyone to go to twistedplots.com. We are really going to stretch your dollar. We are really going to make sure you get the best bang for your buck, and that this is the best show that we can make. And Hannah Claire, you were asking about the plot. I mentioned it's an anthology series. It ranges. The first episode's much more goofy and zany. The pilot's much more silly and zany. The second episode we're working on now, it has a wild, out there, funny, cartoony sci-fi concept, but it's much drier, much darker. The third episode is like halfway in between those things. And so they all sort of exist on a spectrum, but what I can promise you is they're all entertaining. They all have good humor, and they're all really high quality. We're working very hard to make sure they are.
Which Folks, one is Jeremy going to be in? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'll tell you this. If he gets to 25% by his the 3 o'clock cutoff, I'll double my donation.
People, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah.
Amos, do you know that Jeremy's a twin? Is he gonna get a twin?
Yeah, I know. I'm the skinny twin.
Yeah, that's
true.
You guys didn't know. Yeah,
you always told me your twin was a girl.
Did you not know?
No.
There was a time where I was a little confused about my identity.
Yeah. Do you?
Did you just call Jeremy fat? Because that's pretty rude to come on someone's show.
I am fat.
I'm the skinny one.
He said it. I just called myself skinny because he said that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I am fat. Let's be very clear here. I don't take offense to that.
Jeremy said at the beginning of the show.
Bad luck, Seamus.
Jeremy said at the beginning of the show that I was the skinny version of him. He literally said that, for those who don't have the proper context.
I did say that. I did. I'm not offended. I wonder if you would stick around for this one last topic. Do you have time, or do you got to go? It's fine if you got to go.
I can stick around for another couple minutes. Yeah.
I'll keep it to less than 10.
Yeah. What's the topic?
Well, any thoughts on the text messages that came out?
It's sickening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Yes.
So I certainly have thoughts on this. I think that the man who sent those messages is a complete disgusting creep. Maybe.
Oh, the leaker?
No, not the leaker. The person Are we talking about the text messages from this candidate who was fantasizing about
Oh,
children?
no. I'm talking
no,
about.
I'm so sorry. Wow.
No, that person is a disgusting freak.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I almost. All right. Thank you for clarifying.
No, that person is a disgusting freak.
Leaks, you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about the text messages that Candace Owens put out, where Charlie Kirk.
I did not know. I didn't hear anything about that. And
Smart answer. Smart answer.
No, but it's true because I've just been grinding like crazy with this crowdfunding campaign.
Let's talk about the other guy then. Let's talk about the other guy, the Democrat. He's an attorney general candidate, right?
Jay Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, these
sickening,
people
dude.
want us dead. Like, there's no denying it anymore.
It's really sick, dude. And I'm just gonna, man, maybe this is a little imprudent for me to say, but I'll just be totally blunt about my opinion here. It's not just anger that causes a person to say something like that. As a grown man, I'm sure you can relate to this too, Jeremy. Like, I've been angry before. Certain things have been making me angry about politics. I have never once, in my darkest moments of wrath, ever fantasized about a child dying.
Yeah.
That is insane to me. Yeah. And what that says to me is that this is not just a man who has a problem with wrath. This is a man with a very disordered view of children, and I'll leave it at that.
Wow.
I want to have you back on with Melanie so we can talk Bible stuff, religion stuff.
Nice.
But I know you are hustling right now, so maybe we'll have you back on to get you across the finish line when we get close.
Thank you, dude.
The mods, please keep putting the link. Otherwise, again, the URL is just twistedplots.com, right?
Go. Yeah, it'll take you to a Give Send Go. Twisted Plots will take you to our Give Send Go. We have a custom landing page for it. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for having me on. And everyone, if you're watching, Jesus loves you. God bless you.
Amen.
And if you can't donate to this campaign, but you want for there to be good culture, good content, if you can't donate, then share it. And regardless, please pray for us. Your prayers are the most important thing. There's an amazing nun named Sister Cecilia praying for us right now. God bless her. I want as many prayers as possible. Even if you can't give money, please pray.
Love it. I started going back to church. I've got 4 weeks in a row now.
Amazing, dude.
4 weeks.
Amazing.
I mean,
proud of you.
I need to get a robe, and I'll probably head up next week's sermon. Yeah, but
I know you're kidding, but I know you're kidding. But one thing that I've noticed that happens is like someone will get into religion or they'll get into Christianity. And especially if they're high profile, people will try to put them at the front of the movement, but that's unfair to that person.
Exactly.
I sit in the back row. I don't say anything.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. This is one bit of advice, totally unsolicited, but this is one bit of advice.
That's my favorite kind.
It's the only kind of gift. No one ever asked me for advice. The one bit of advice I will give to anyone, you, your audience, anyone who's just getting back into the faith, I've over and over and over again, people have come to me and they've said, I want to become Christian. I want to become Catholic. And I think it's good. I see value in it. I just don't believe it. And I want to believe it. I just can't bring myself to. And what I say to people in that situation is, I'm flattered that you're asking me, but I can't give you faith. Only God can. And he actually wants you to ask him. He wants you to ask him. So when you're praying, don't think it has to be performative. Like, he wants your heart, and you can tell him, you can tell God, as funny as this might sound, you could say, "Dear Lord, I don't believe in you. I don't believe you're there. Help me to believe. Help me to believe." So if you're ever struggling, or if you're ever not sure, or if you want to get into the faith, but you just don't know how yet because you can't bring yourself to believe, ask and you will receive.
Amen.
Love it, Seamus. Have a wonderful day, man. Stay in touch.
Have a wonderful day, brother.
All right.
Bye,
see ya.
Seamus.
Bye.
See you guys.
Well, it looks, hopefully, best of luck to Seamus on his campaign. I think I will also, if he hits that 25%, I will donate for a Melanie Mac, and I will donate another 1,000 for a Hannah Claire B.
Let's go.
So
yes, you do.
I will get that. If he gets to his 25%, I will donate for a Melanie Mac character and a Hannah Claire B character.
I'm so stoked.
Let's
Let's
go. We can make an
Yeah.
appearance.
Sorry, Luke, you weren't here.
How
Sorry.
can we make it so that he has us podcasting Estrocast in the background of one of these episodes?
Well, what's great is, like once they're get then maybe he'll just let me use the drawings, and maybe we can, use them for the show, or
love
get some
that.
value out of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say he's at 23.16% right now, so it's very possible. I want to read some super chats. I want to talk about the Charlie Kirk texts and then TPUSA's response, because it's just the biggest news.
Right.
And I have an unpopular take on it, and I've been taking my slings and arrows from Twitter willingly. I accept I could be wrong on this. But I'll share my position, which I'm sure the Rumble chat will rail on me for, and that's okay. Like, I'm not a pussy. Like, it doesn't bother me if people disagree with me. But of course I will accept if I'm wrong. But right. I want to. Doug says, I heard Paula Dean. Oh, I got that Mossad thing. Doug also says, HCB told me the truth about Paula Dean in her Reddit blog. She's holding back the truth from you, Jeremy. I knew it. I knew it.
I made a satirical crazy person blog. Do you think, number one, people would like it? And number two, that the left would start being like, look at the crazy things she's writing? Or do you think they would
think if you did it anonymously with your great English skills, it would probably be very popular. Maybe if you just wrote every crazy leftist trope, Yeah. And it would probably do well.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Think about launching it on Blue Sky. That'd be where
there we go.
That's where I would LARP. I have a LARP account there.
There was an X account called, of course you both do. You are internet trolls to the core. I'm not totally kidding. There was this X account called, or back when it was Twitter, called like Not a Wolf. And it was like someone tweeting as if they were like a wolf.
I remember that account. Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was so funny.
Lime Coconut says, Homestar Runner cartoons were amazing.
Yes.
And some of the best pre-YouTube viral videos that had such unique personality to them, likely thanks to the same indie mentality.
I love Homestar Runner.
That's the thing,
Trogdor stuff was incredible.
People, even if you go back to remember where Red vs. Blue and there used to be so many cartoons and animation.
Paladin stuff who then moved on to video games with Alien Hominid, Castle Crashers. Just last week, the weekend before last, I beat Castle Crashers again with my brother. So good. And he got his start. He didn't even start drawing at all until his 20s. And then he just got on Newgrounds and started, he had this really interesting art style that he developed and just really goofy, funny animations. And then he made a game and became extremely successful.
That's
Love
cool.
It.
Yeah.
Pac-Man says, good afternoon, Jeremy, Melanie, Hannah Claire. A judge just ruled that Trump can send in the National Guard to patrol Chicago. Yeah, of course he's going to be able to use the Insurrection Act, and there's precedent here. He'll be able to do it. TX Burns says, donated Seamus. Now Tim wants his spoons back. No, I think he should keep them. The Chess Master says, Toon Man is Spoon Man. Joshua says, I feel like this pilot was just a major pushback for the years of Tim's get some chickens rhetoric. Great work, Seamus. I hope to see this goal get demolished soon. I'll pass these on to him, by the way. Jay Blizzy says, I got that one. PJ Shader says, so hide your kids and hide your spoons. He's climbing through your window and snatching your silver up. Long live Spoon Man. Great to see you back on Timcast, now Quartercast. God bless. Jeremy casually sipped and pepped out. No, it's Fairlife, and it's the last one I have. I'm switching to a different one that's a little healthier.
Oh, okay.
These are fine. I'm not nitpicking. This all I eat for lunch. It's 150 calories. So I'm not nitpicking it too bad, but I want something that's not dairy based because my tummy's not liking it as much. So I'm just gonna do healthy
girl era. We respect your choices.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna do a powder and water. Just
there you go.
Because then it's not dairy based, and and then I got the
Soylent is out. Is that what they call it?
No, it's not Soylent.
That's not dairy.
It's technically dairy, but not the same. Well, the way it's processed, whey protein. I don't think that it gives you as much issues for the lactose intolerant.
I can't really confirm if I'm lactose intolerant or not, but sometimes I drank one today, totally fine. I drank one yesterday and I barely made it to the bathroom.
I think it's just getting older and more sensitive stomach.
It could be. Just could be days where I'm a little more sensitive to it. And
right.
And anyway, if I do the water and the powder, it's only 80 calories instead of 150.
Oh,
And it tastes
go.
basically the same to me.
Yeah.
And so it's like a free 70 calorie cut. Hey Mel, how do you feel about the fact that there's an app to text with Jesus now? Maybe ask him what CrossFit gym he goes to. I think all that stuff is a little blasphemous.
I don't like it. I don't like it because, especially when you've got AI and all that kind of stuff, and having something speak for Jesus, don't like it. We have Jesus's words in the Bible in the red letters, and then the entire Bible is the word of God, the word of Jesus. So that will apply to every element of your life. You've got that there. We don't need to be talking to AI that is LARPing as Jesus.
Hey, someone says fatties always make excuses. Hey, I'm not making any fucking excuse. What are you talking about?
Any excuses.
I was just heckling Seamus, guys. You missed the point.
Oh, okay.
Not about weight. It's just about giving Seamus a hard time.
If anything, I'm like too hard on myself. Like I don't make any excuses.
I know you've been doing a great job.
Yeah, I'm down almost 30 now.
Fat.
Yeah. I'm not going to, until I'm under 300, I'm still going to say, I'm going to stay rough. But now, I'm up on I got my fancy watch now so I can stay on my steps and it tells me when to do. 10,000 is hard when you work during the day.
It is.
On the weekend, it's easy, but like during the week, I set it to 7,000 now because it was too demoralizing never hitting it.
Right.
So it's like, at least I hit 7,000 during the week, and if I go past it, it's fine. And then on the weekend, I go 10 to 12,000, and
okay, that's good.
all of that's like I did like a day where I didn't manage it at all, and I did like 1,500 steps all day. Like going to 7,000 is still a significant.
That's good, and there's a lot of benefits from. I want to say like some people will overdo it and just say, oh, the more steps the better, and they're all getting like this but. If you're getting 7,000 steps a day, you're doing good.
Well, once I can get that for like a week or two straight, then I'll raise it to 7,500. Then I'll raise it to 8. Then I'll raise, in the wintertime, it's actually easier for me because like it's cold and I'll just like get on the treadmill and do it that way. Now I'm like, it's easier for me to get steps when I'm doing chores and like, like Saturday, I was like putting away all the furniture and I had like 8,000 before like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, hell yeah, that's easy, But then yesterday, I was like first weekday back and I was like, okay, 7,000, that's easy. Then it was like 4 o'clock and I was just walking laps in my backyard in the fence, like one of those caged gorillas. I was like walking. I had to walk for like an hour to get my steps. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. It's so much easier to get them when you're like doing something rather than just like walking around in a circle.
Yeah.
You know what I was listening to? I was listening to the Candace Owens podcast while I did it.
Oh, shoot.
And, what was interesting is, so she released some text messages. At the time, I thought by default they've got to be real. Otherwise, she's going to get sued into oblivion. Like if she's going to release these text messages, she's definitely asked herself, like, will I be able to defend these in court? Now this is where people are going to get mad. It's almost like I can't even be on X lately too. Like all I've tried to say, dude. All I tried to say yesterday was like, look, nobody has any evidence that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And I've been getting butt fucked for the last 2 days by unverified accounts.
Bots. It is a bunch of Muslim bots. That's one reason why I'm not there anymore. I'm sick of it. Sick of those bots.
Yeah, I mean, sure, some of them, not all of them are bots, but there's definitely.
But there's a lot.
I turned it to verified only, and like suddenly I wasn't getting ratioed into oblivion anymore, and suddenly I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? But like. Not all of them are bots, certainly, but like the text messages came out yesterday, and what they proved was Charlie was mad at one point in history at time over a Jewish donor pulling their money, and he did say, "Hey, maybe I'm going to leave the pro-Israel lobby or something like that."
Well, but is there proof that all those texts are even
real? Those texts are real.
I have so many questions.
TPUSA confirmed that they are real.
Oh, they did?
He confirmed it. Yeah. Now. I haven't watched this video yet, but this is them answering that, and I thought we'd check that out.
Okay.
Any initial takes? Like, for me, the problem is a shitload of people are like, oh, he said he's mad at Israel, so this proves that Israel killed him. It's not. It does not prove that. Also, again, I'm just speaking for myself because I don't want you two to catch any strays, but there is something I will engage with probably too many people on too many things. Like people, I'll constantly give people, why don't you respond to somebody 2 followers? I don't care. I'll respond to anybody.
Yeah.
But if you are not willing to at least meet me halfway and say that Candace Owens is fucking clearly implying that Israel is involved in Charlie Kirk's death, if you aren't willing to at least meet me there, then I cannot talk to you. Because if she isn't implying that, then why the fuck does everyone believe that now? Like, she is very clearly implying that either Israel did it or that the tumultuous stuff leading up. Because she's like, well, 48 hours before he was killed, this is what he said. And he was mad at Israel. She's so we can agree, Israel, bad people, but you have to meet me halfway and say Candace is implying that Israel did it. Like that's all I'm asking. And people are like, when did Candace say that? When did Candace say that? I said, she's not. She's just very, like, you'd have to be a absolute artard to not pick up what she's putting down.
People are going to be mad at me, my takes on this anyway, so it is what it is. But I don't even think that it's inherently wrong that Israel wouldn't want to fund something that had Tucker Carlson in it, especially if you
of course
are of the belief
he's roasting him.
I know,
why would they pay for that?
Exactly. If you are of the belief, which I think is very possible, that he's got some sort of Muslim funding to share a lot of the things that he does. Same with Candace Owens, Qatari money, all of that. I think that is a likelihood. At the very least, what they say, the things that they say about Israel, it only makes sense that Israel wouldn't want to be pouring money.
And Jews wouldn't want to give him money.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Jews would not want to give money to them being on a platform. That only makes sense. Like they're not forcing Turning Point or anybody into silence, but they're just saying, hey, I don't want to fund this.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, you can disagree or agree with them, but I mean, like, if TPUSA had hired somebody to say, like, you know, who had a long history of saying, like, that my people were X, Y, and Z, then I would probably not want to give them $2 million.
Exactly.
It's
like
not,
if it was like,
it's really not that hard to understand.
White man bad, and they have one of those like BLM activists on the platform, would you want to be donating money to?
No, right.
That? Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's not. But I think I wanted to share this first. I know that I think Hannah Claire's being smartly quiet here.
I'm happy. I just don't want to. I feel like I've gotten to a really bad habit of like interrupting. So I'm trying.
Well, it's hard when we have 4 people. It's you know, I will say, like, my problem is the people that think that Candace Owens is now unequivocally proven that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. They were convinced of that before I ever talked to them, and like, no matter what I say, like, even if I give them like, hey, this looks weird, they're just going to be assholes anyway. So it's like the Israel bad people have a real branding problem. Like, I'm willing to listen to all this stuff, and I'm willing to engage with you, but then, like, you are so insufferable. It's like Nick has this problem with a small subset of his fans. Like, I don't have any problem with Nick, but Groypers can be insufferable.
They can, and that's why when I see them just outright lying about I've seen them make fake tweets that from me, and like things like, oh, Bill Hitler and all this stuff that they're saying that you tweeted this 3 months ago, and now you've done a heel turn. It was like, obviously I never tweeted something like that. So it's just like, if you are willing to blatantly outright lie and make up something like that, then how are we going to take you serious with anything that you say?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk? Go ahead, Hannah Claire.
I was going to say, I think the challenge for me, from my perspective over here, it doesn't matter what I think ultimately, is that these text messages can be given to any person on the internet who's interested in these topics, and it can be applied to as evidence of a lot of different things. So if you are questioning Charlie Kirk's death and you think that maybe Israel's behind it, maybe this does feel like smoking gun. It doesn't to me, but the text messages are interesting to me because Charlie Kirk had such tremendous influence over the youth vote in America. He was at the beginning of his career, despite everything he had accomplished. So if he were to change his stance on Israel, whether or not America should be involved in their conflicts, whether she was spending money, whatever that was going to look like, that's a huge industry in America. That is a big deal, and ultimately would affect many generations. It's similar as when Theo Vaughn came out and was like, "I am concerned about Palestine," and I don't know what happened with Charlie Kirk's death. For right now, it seems like Tyler Robinson did it. Who put him up to it? What Discord? Like, that is complicated, and I await trial and evidence. To me, when we see these text messages, I don't go immediately to like, this proves who assassinated him. I go to, wow, it really does seem like a huge portion of the youth, conservative youth in America might have been about to embrace a different way of viewing our relationship with Israel. And that's more interesting to me. Again, just because I'm not following the like assassination web that's being spun out.
Well, what I said was like, so I put a video covering it. And of course, like, I have a lot of people in my audience that are 100% convinced that Israel did it. And then they'll come in the chat here and say, nobody's saying Israel did it. And I could pull you up 1,000 tweets where people are saying, this unequivocally proves that Israel is involved.
Right.
Like, I won't be gaslit. I'm a 42-year-old man who spent most of his life online. Like, you got to do better than that. Like, I know what people are implying. I know what people are saying on X. You can't come into my chat and be like, Jeremy, Candace Owens is definitely not implying that Israel had anything to do with his death. Bullshit.
Exactly.
She is 110% implying that Israel was involved. Yep. And if you can't see that, then I cannot save you. We cannot have a good faith conversation.
Well, it's the same
I'm not even saying Israel didn't do it.
tactics.
I'm just saying you got to admit that she's implying it. Like, I'm willing to listen to you.
She's gaslighting. She's reverting back to her old liberal tactics. And that's exactly what liberals do as well. Whenever look at what happened with all of the vaccine stuff and them trying to push mandates and putting all of this societal pressure on people that get the vax or you're selfish and ostracizing people and trying to, through fear of being ostracized and losing your friends and family and jobs, trying to force people to get these. And then now, if you talk about the vaccine, then it's just like, what are you talking about? Nobody had to get it. It's just pure liberal gaslighting.
We didn't want your we didn't vote for lockdowns. That never happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
remember vaccine passports?
Yeah. What do you mean? Those never happened.
I'm sorry. I'm crazy.
I definitely don't remember having to go to the doctor and get a COVID test before I could go to a concert and have carry a card with me. Like, because I wouldn't get vaccinated. Look, again, I don't care if I shed all of the viewers who cannot at least admit that that's what Candace is saying. Right. If you can't see that I'm your guy, I'm willing to listen to the craziest theories that Israel did it, and I'm willing to be convinced. But if you are watching Candace Owens videos and you're like, dude, you're crazy, she's not implying that Israel did it, then we cannot ever meet on common ground, because that is 100% what she's doing. Okay, like, these text messages prove nothing about Israel and Charlie Kirk's death. It proves that he was mad at one time that some person pulled a donation. That's all it proves. And like, if she has more evidence, which she has claimed to have, great. I know that if I die by assassination, I sure as well hope that everyone that calls me their best friend drip feeds that evidence for maximum profit over a period of 3 months after my death. That's what I hope my best friends do. Okay.
Maggie, Jeremy, are you listening? This is on you.
Right. Like, you can't convince me that you guys were great friends if you have the smoking gun that somebody killed him and you're just drip feeding it out for maximum monetization. Jeremy, why was my first impression after watching the video of Charlie getting shot the day was Mossad? Why was that? I don't know. I mean, again, I'm your guy. Convince me it was Mossad, but don't fucking lie to me. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining and say, well, Candace Owens isn't presenting that. Of course she is. Of course she is. It's her entire persona. Anyway, watch this video. Homeland Security put this out, by the way.
Wow. Hi.
I don't know if I love or hate this. I really
you love to hate it. It's so good.
It's so funny. They've got some top tiers. Like they really went hard recruiting their best social media people. On the other hand, like our tax dollars at work.
I think this is a part of a good investment. This is advertising. This is, the Border Patrol. I also love this guy's Mexican too. Like
I know,
that's even funnier. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw, just whenever it was like, oh, ICE agents, or you're getting paid like $50,000 to sign up to be an ICE agent or something, and I see that on TikTok, and like all of these Mexicans are in the replies going, all right, I'm signing up, let's go.
I'll deport my own brother.
Like, a lot of the of Southern Texas, like the border communities are heavily Hispanic already. So like, if it's a good job, you make a bunch of money, you already live in the area, like. Why would you say no?
Yeah. So here's TPUSA's response. And again, like all I'm asking is that, and it's just me asking my viewers, that we meet halfway. Like we have to agree on some common truths. And you could, what do they call it when you get Jew pilled? I don't know. Like I could be talking about, all you have to do is like accept that I'm not stupid and I know what's going on. And like the fact that you just like, people are like, well, Candace isn't presenting this idea is insane. All I have to do is open up X and like, everyone's saying, well, it said the word Israel, so definitely Israel killed him. Like this is nonsense. But I have not watched this, so this is TPUSA's response. So I don't know if it's good or bad. Again, also people accuse me of the $7,000 thing, which is fucking stupid because I've literally said fuck Israel 1 million times on this show and on personal videos. I'm America first, America only. It's just like these people are so deranged that it's hard. I want to try and like talk to them. I'm like, hey, why do you think Mossad killed Charlie Kirk? Well, there's a text message where they said Israel is a Jew took money out. Okay, but why would Israel kill him over that? Oh, you're just stupid. What did you get paid by Mossad? You ask, it's like, I just want to know. Take me through from this text message to Mossad killing Charlie Kirk. Take me through. You're there. Just bring me with you. And I have found 0 people willing to do that. Yep. 0. Well, Mossad's assassinated people before. So has the U.S. government. So has a lot of fucking people. So anyway, so here's their response.
To address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known.
There were 7 people in this group. By the way, if I'm one of those 7, I just release them all right now. Don't let Candace make money off you for the next week.
Right.
Like, just release the whole fucking thing and spoil her show for the rest of the week. That's what I would do. Like, that way, because now she's bringing all the shit on them, and maybe it's deserved. Anna Paulina Luna has her own investigation going. Well, I won't hold my breath. Wasn't she the head of the committee on the Epstein files too?
She's called for them to be released. I'm not sure what kind of.
She was on like a task force for them, and she released nothing. So I mean, yeah, great. Let her do it.
And released by Candace Owens, and I just want to address it head on because that was a screen grab that I had shared. With people. So it is.
Wait a minute, did he leak it?
Oh, interesting.
When you have to report yourself as a leak?
I wonder if they're like, yo, you're the one that leaked, because maybe he shared it with somebody who then I assume they know who shared it with Candace.
Right.
So they're probably like, you fucking did this. Like, it sounds like maybe they know where this screenshot came from.
Anyone would be trusting Candace Owens with confidential information after we have seen time and time again her throwing the people under the bus. Look how she treated Steven Crowder, for example. Like she is a backstabber. I would not trust her with anything. Even if you align with her, I would not be trusting her.
7K Jared, wait, don't like jland.gov? Wait, I don't get it. 7K Jared, jland. I accept all the Jew jokes. Like, I don't care. Like, just because I don't believe Candace Owens of all people, it's like people glom onto this one thing with the text messages, but nobody's willing to say, well, she had no evidence that people use fucking trapdoors, or that she claimed she had the letter that Bibi Netanyahu and Charlie Kirk written never happened. She's claimed to have video. She claims to know who has access to Charlie Kirk's laptop. She's released none of that. So either she has it and I'm going to have to wait until December to get it, But this one thing, the text message, I admit,
It's authentic.
It's
and
real.
I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there.
Well played.
Oh, I'm
Well,
so excited.
I'm so excited that my private messages got leaked. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, buddy. I like you.
I'm gonna remember that for whenever somebody leaks any screenshots of
I'm
text.
so excited my news are on the internet.
Excited.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Leaked.
Yeah. I don't know, Andrew. This one's not great. This is a little.
First one to say.
Yeah.
Hey, let him cook.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Now, if he pulls like an Uno reverso and he's like, here's the rest of the text where we, that could
I
be.
think we know by now if you did that.
Yeah, they'd be all over the internet. I literally saved this video for us,
For this month?
because I was like, well, I don't know, what is he going to say? Because even in my video, I was like, this doesn't look great.
Right.
Yeah. So even people with, my Israelers, I've moved a little bit. I've said like, hey, this doesn't look great. But let's see how they address it.
The reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange.
Yeah, but you did share it.
I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were
that's who
already
shared it
public.
with Candace.
I wanted to not betray my friend's trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick.
Wait, what? Oh, he submitted it to evidence, I think is what he's saying.
It took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave.
Oh, so wait a minute. TPUSA. What? I think I see where this is going. And I think they sent this to the government to say, is this possible that Israel killed him?
Is that really what he's implying there?
I mean, it seems like oh boy, people in chat better get excited.
Nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But
Candace,
here we are. So
does know.
Yeah, he knows.
One of the reasons, Blake, that I'm glad to have this now public, it was not mine to share publicly, but one of the criticisms we've received is that we don't care, we're not investigating every lead, we're not looking under every stone, and that somehow we're just like, sweeping things under the rug. And when I say that we want justice for Charlie more than anybody else, I really mean it, and no stone unturned. I mean, I don't know if you want to chime in on that part alone, but I have more to say.
Yeah, so it has been so frustrating to have people blow up about this.
Yeah.
And I've certainly stated publicly, the reason I haven't weighed in on things is I am an eyewitness to events, and they've said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up.
Right, it's awfully convenient for people who are lobbing up theories, when these guys can't really address them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. And I will say I wasn't an eyewitness. I was not there. I flew to Utah immediately to be with the family and the team, but I was not an eyewitness. So there's that. But I am aware that in my role as spokesman for Turning Point USA, which is another hat I wear, that things I say, I'm cognizant of the fact that things I say could negatively impact an ongoing investigation. All right. But I will weigh in specifically on this issue of Israel because I know there's a lot of fascination. And I just want to say that,
careful.
We have to let free speech be our North Star here. Okay. Charlie was adamantly free speech. And I am not personally going to impugn anybody's character who is asking questions and looking for answers. All right. And I will say that text chain is consistent with public frustrations that he voiced many times. And I know, Blake, you were in the trenches on a lot of this stuff because we were workshopping how we were going to do the tour and what he's going to get asked about Israel. What was he going to say? And this is consistent with things that he told his friends, people that are, in the water.
He's confirming that Candace was right about
his
him.
wrestle that he was
at least
going.
about
And
this.
so I just want to say, what is the truth about the way Charlie felt about Israel? Well, it's complicated and it's nuanced, and it was a wrestle that was going on for months, and it's probably somewhere between the BB letter and the text group text.
I don't even think there's a between about it. I think those are entirely consistent with the exact same worldview. Yes. Charlie was not hiding things from people.
So what they've confirmed is that those text messages are real, and yes, he was frustrated. I mean, he did talk about, I think he famously talked about on the PBD podcast, that he was concerned about whether or not Israel had issued a stand down order on October 7th. And people have shared that clip with me and said, see, this is why he's dead. Charlie Kirk being frustrated with Israel politics is not confirmation that Israel assassinated him or that he was leaving, that he, I don't, all this proves is that he was frustrated with what Israel was going with probably what Netanyahu is up to.
Yeah.
As are many Israeli citizens.
Again, like to me, and I understand people want answers about his death, but like that's almost significant. I feel like we're losing sight of the fact that like he was changing his opinion on something and was potentially going to break with a long-held mainstream Republican position. Like that's interesting. I don't want to skip that.
But there's no connection between that and his assassination yet.
Well, it's just like
none
that,
of that's been made.
Is
Yeah.
the focus, but for me, like the shift in policy mindset is fascinating, and I wish that we could talk about that more.
Mm-hmm.
There's people are going to try to make you fixate on a particular quote or a particular line to make you think that there was something hidden. There was nothing hidden about Charlie's views on Israel.
Fair. There are several clips of him, voicing frustration.
Charlie, I worked with Charlie on every major issue that we talked about, immigration, abortion, the transgender stuff. And he thought about the Israel issue a ton, all the time. It was in the news all the time. People cared about it a lot. He cared about it a lot. Just before the shooting happened, I finished reading, this is a 700-page book about the history of the Israel-Palestine conflict. I read this book because Charlie said, Blake, get really well-versed on this so you can help me whenever it comes up and just know stuff off the top of your head.
Yeah.
So I read it for that reason. If you want to know Charlie's views on the Gaza war, he wanted the war to end. He didn't want America to take Palestinian refugees. He was annoyed when people advocated that. He didn't want American troops on the ground there or with any other war. And he was upset when he saw stories about churches being damaged or Christians being killed. But at the same time, he recognized Hamas started the war. Hamas could end the war. Israel ultimately represented European civilization. Hamas represented Middle Eastern barbarism. And Hamas were the chief evildoers, and people who supported them were...
Whoa, Jay Blizzy just gifted 50 Rumble premiums.
Whoa!
That is crazy, dude.
Oh, 50!
That's crazy. Thank you so much.
Almost always supporting them for these bad, like, anti-civilizational reasons.
Yeah.
That's what his view was, and he was public about that. And then, as it continued, Charlie talked to young people all the time. He could see what was going on the internet. He could see among young conservatives, there was a big shift to be hostile to Israel. There was a shift big time on the left, but it was also visible on the right. He could tell anti-Semitism was rising in America, and that upset him. Charlie was public about this. He loved Israel. He cared about Israel, and he cared about how that. Well, and he wanted to help the pro-Israel movement.
Yeah, and I want to play this. It's a long clip, but
So, I mean, I'm not going to play the clip, but like he has been like critical of Israel. Great. So as of right now, Charlie Kirk was considering, maybe not being as full-throated support of Israel or wanted Israel to change some of the way they were approaching things. That is a political discussion that I'm not very well educated on, so it's hard for me to have. My interest in basically like the Candace series was whether or not she had any information about his assassination. But to me, yes, people who don't like Israel are making that leap, saying that, well, Israel killed him over this. I've seen no evidence of that. And, it is interesting, though, that...
It's interesting. I get what you're saying, where it's like, this isn't like a smoking gun. This
like, I'm going to bow out of it now. Like, if it's a geopolitics thing, that's not my strength kind of thing, No,
but I get what you're saying. And like, I've always admired the fact that you're like, you can't make evidence into something else. Like, that is, I think, what happens a lot of times. People will be like, you see this in like true crime all the time. I remember this with the Koberger case. They would be like, well, he has his eyes above his ears, or he wrote this paper or whatever. Yeah. And it was like, that's actually not enough to prove it,
Right.
you think he has the right car, but also the police change the search parameters. And I think that like there is a desire for really solid evidence, especially when something is as hypercharged and emotional as Charlie Kirk's death. I mean, that really impacted the nation. So I think you're doing the right thing by being like, you can't extrapolate too far. Again, like maybe it's just because I'm not following the discussion of what's going on with the investigation into his death, but like it's interesting that they are responding by being like, we have to address Charlie Kirk's stance on Israel. The reality for me
it's
is
a
like,
big deal. Yeah.
well, and like I don't like, change topics too much, but like one of the challenges for the rest of history is going to be, what did Charlie Kirk think about a thing? Because he's gone. Like both of these people who knew him well, I'm sure, and talked to him a lot. Like we don't. They are giving you their best estimation of what his thoughts would have been because he's not here to speak for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's got to be frustrating for like people who are close to him, who are like probably just trying to be about the work, and like now it's like their full-time job having to combat accusations from Candace Owens and other people online.
Yeah.
I thought Candace Owens was going to be talking about assassination things, which is what she started on. The trapdoors, the Super Mario tubes, all this B cult killed him, all this bullshit. And no one remembers how hilariously wrong she was about all of that. But like now that it's morphed into this like Israel politics thing, I am not equipped really like to have a hard take on it. Like I don't like any foreigners being full stop. No, I don't like any foreign influence. Any foreign influence on our government. I don't care if it's, to me, I don't care if it's Israel or Qatar or the UK or China or Japan. I don't want any of I don't want lobbyists here. I don't want half my government officials on the payroll from AIPAC. I don't like any of that stuff. But in terms of like, his assassination, Candace Owens has uncovered nothing of note, in my opinion. Like you have to be on the like 9th degree of separation to connect this to anything to do. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, based on the evidence that is available, and hopefully there'll be more, Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk was mad at Israel. Two independent things can be true. And that doesn't mean good.
Like I was saying, Charlie Kirk was so influential. Like the narrative that it was like people who saw him as a figure of hate because they identify as transgender, like that hasn't been disproven to me. I like the text.
How many people have Troons killed
and stuff? But like
they've killed tons of people.
And Charlie Kirk talked about so many things that like upset so many people that we now know are unfortunately prone to violence. Like I don't know how to put it in like a more delicate way. It seems like, by the nature of his work, there are a lot of reasons you could read malicious intent into things. I don't know either way, but it's one of the challenges with having such a high profile public figure. I mean, I'm sure now everyone who's ever texted with Charlie Kirk is combing through their text messages as well for evidence of what happened.
Yeah. I would like there's a couple things I would like Kash Patel to do. If there is footage of the shooter, I mean, there's footage of him running across the roof, but is there footage of where he was laying when he took the shot? And whether that's on the TPUSA cameras or it's on the FBI cameras, they should release that. Mm-hmm. That would basically debunk 50 to 60% of the most widespread conspiracy theories, which are basically that it wasn't a 30-06, which I'm 100% open to listen to, or that he was shot from a different position and Tyler Robinson was there, but with a gun, but didn't fire the gun. Just release that footage. I'm assuming some angle of it does exist because it would have been crowd cameras from TPUSA.
Right. And it's a college. I assume there's a ton of like different security cameras on different buildings. Tyler Robinson's next court appearance is October 30th, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is one of the things, I know we talked about this before, but like aside from releasing like personal text message information, like I guess Andrew is saying he sent this text to law enforcement at one point. It does take a while for stuff that investigators are using to be released through the discovery process. I'm not saying that's perfect or an excuse.
Well, they have to do a trial still, right? Like, so they're not going to release what they have. They don't want to help the defense either, But like the video, I think would be nice because it would cut down a lot of the noise around the gun. I still believe Occam's razor is a thing because it is true. And that, you know, if you believe Tyler Robinson is a patsy, okay, please write me a lengthy email on who really shot him then. Because there's no evidence at all that Tyler Robinson did not do it. Tyler Robinson DNA matched the gun. He text messaged about his text messages admit the crime. A post-it note admit the crime. He went to his parents' house, admitted the crime. He admitted the crime to a pastor. His police turned him in. I could go on with evidence, real evidence that exists that Tyler Robinson did it. If you want me to believe that he is a patsy, then provide me literally anything that is, you know, that's all I'm asking. All these crackpots that are flying out to Utah and they're like, but the Dairy Queen was closed the one day, but then I went back and then the Dairy Queen was open. What does it mean? It means fucking nothing. It means nothing. Unless you can actually, like, maybe I just will never understand conspiracy brain. I find that stuff entertaining, but like, I never think, oh, this definitely happened. Like 100%. And I will fight on the internet all day to defend it.
And that's the thing is, I love looking into conspiracies and stuff. Y'all all know that. But I do think that there can be I don't know. I also think that conspiracies can be a vehicle for Satan to brainwash people who go too far with these things. And whenever we do see that, sometimes some things can be sprinkled with some truth and then a bunch of other lies and demonic things added to it. And I do think that some conspiracies can lead down some dark paths, but some conspiracies are very valid.
Yeah.
So we just have to practice discernment.
Here's a conspiracy theory no one's talking about. What a convenient way to get the conversation away from the radical left.
That's true.
Uh-oh.
That's true.
Who's talking about trans violence anymore?
Yep.
Nobody. Everybody's talking about Israel.
And we all know that the left
loves this, by the way.
Yeah, and they hate Jews. So it's just like,
yeah.
just saying.
It's an awfully convenient thing that literally nobody's talking about trans violence anymore.
Right.
That's my conspiracy theory.
It's an interesting one, you know. It is crazy that I don't know. I think about, I mean, we talked about this a lot in the weeks after Charlie Kirk died, but just the dangerous pipeline of what happens to confused young people who go to Discord, or I don't want to just name Discord, but like internet servers for
chat rooms or
any
whatever,
kind of emotional validation. And for a long time, the narrative was like, don't let your sons play video games. Don't let them do whatever. Like, you know, I think that conveniently mainstream culture skipped over what happens in predatory places online where they are taking advantage of people who are either mentally ill or who are lost in some way.
Right.
We talked about that cult. We talked about there's this death cult called whatever, I forget what it's called, but they use Discord to like radicalize people. People say that chick in Wisconsin, that the school shooter girl, was like radicalized by these same people. I forget what it was. Maybe Chad can remind me. It was like 9 angels, and then it was like or 9 angles, and I think, and there was like an offshoot to something else where they like implicitly say in their thing like, hey, we go into these Discords and we get people addicted to like murder porn and all this stuff, then we, you know, like it's a part of their like serving the devil kind of stuff.
It's like stealing their souls. It's awful.
Yeah, they like get off on it and like they try to get people to commit small crimes then bigger crimes. This is a real thing. I'll just read the chats now. Wismojo says, hey, had some of your coffee shipped to Australia. Damn. Very, very impressed. Absolutely delicious coffee. Thank you, dude.
Australia has a pretty serious coffee culture from what I know.
I know. I'd like to send it there to like Amazon fulfillment there, but there's just, I mean, I would just be losing money. Like it would just, you know, the UK and Canada and Mexico are on my vision board for 2026. Australia, I have a lot of viewers there and I would like to, but I need to figure out a different way to ship it there because coffee's heavy and it's dense and it doesn't ship well.
Yeah.
Manny says, I stubbed my toe this morning. Did Mossad move my end table there to make it happen? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. What's wrong with that? Hey, the questions are
Paula
okay.
Dean.
Yeah, Paula
Oh, it's
Dean.
Paula Dean.
Yeah.
There we go.
JJ, thank you for the super chat. Travel Bud says, Israel is a POS, yes, but I'm pissed that all the attention has been pulled from the mentally damaged trans people. We have a massive mental health crisis that's ignored because of IDS. Right. What happened to the guy that killed a bunch of flipping migrants? Nobody's talking about that guy. Fernando Boone says, personally, I'm pro DPEN, but evidence is not in the wait, I'm pro DPEN. I'm not sure, but evidence is not case closeted. And I believe if Tyler is sentenced and offed and the real evidence comes out, providing it wasn't him, it will set off the left. I'm pro DPEN. Pro DPEN. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not
either.
sure.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what that means. I assume you mean DPEN. I don't know. Sorry. Bystander says, crew, did Israel use Erica Kirk as a Hillary to his bill and have him killed? She seems very happy these days and ripping away control and becoming CEO. Isn't that a bit odd? Romanian Angels. Oh, Romanian Angels. No, I think it's called the Order of the Nine Angles I was talking about. I don't think Erica Kirk seems happy at all. I think that it's I think that she puts on a brave face in public. Nobody is with, you don't see her when she's all by herself, when she wakes up alone, when she goes to bed alone.
Her family.
Yeah. When her kids ask, when's daddy coming home?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that people have used that I think is really terrible.
Yeah, and that's the thing is whenever Donald Trump, for example, when he was asked about, so how are you feeling? Are you really sad about? And then he was like talking about the decorations and stuff. And so many people missed the mark on why Trump did.
He didn't want to talk about it.
Well, there was that, but there was also the fact that we don't want to give these deranged troon lunatics who are murdering people. We don't want to give them the satisfaction of, oh, we're just bringing the whole country down. We did it. We're making them miserable. So I think a lot of people are keeping a strong face because it's like, you know what? You can't defeat us. You obviously this does hurt, but we have to keep a brave face in the midst of it. Otherwise, if they think that they can keep hurting our country by bringing us down and keeping us out of the fight, then they're going to keep doing this stuff.
Yeah, I think everyone mourns differently. And, she's obviously had she was in pageant. She's had a long public facing career. I think for a lot of people, you can move into a mode where you are forward presenting and privately mourning. I don't know what it's like to be in her position. It must be awful.
I did the show every day when I did the show the same day my dad died. And is that not okay? That's that. I don't want to go down this road again, but there are lots of examples in chat where people are like, yeah, I went through something shitty. I went to work because what else am I supposed to do? You can only cry so much. And 50715 says, I think it's all to distract from the thousands of celebratory face reveals and the 100,000 like posts. Either the it's bad, but I'm saying maybe unintentionally, but it certainly does create a nice little cover for the left's violence. And again, nobody's talking about trans violence anymore. Nobody's talking about these trans death cults. Nobody's talking
just another
about
form of Republican conservative sphere infighting. It feels like,
Yeah. Yes.
And
yes.
that's what gets a little disheartening to me.
Yeah. By the way, I want to let you guys tell the people where they can find you, and then I'm probably going to be streaming later tonight, folks. I've got some extra topics to cover tonight, but tell the people where they can find your content and how to support you.
Melanie, you go first since we accidentally thought you weren't here today.
Yeah. All right, you guys can find me at Bible Time with Melanie Mack for some good old Jesus talk, and then my gaming streams at Melanie Mack, or if you just search Melanie Mack gaming streams, I should be finishing up Silent Hill F either tonight or tomorrow should be the end of it, but I will be streaming tonight. So
cool.
Yay.
You guys can find my work on Rumble, YouTube, and X, but the videos are on Rumble and YouTube. I'm Hannah Claire B in all of those places. I'll video up tonight talking about Ron Extantis, the man who's being released in Kentucky. Some of you may know the story. If you don't, please tune in. I would love to explain it to you and get your thoughts. Again, Hannah Claire B on Rumble, YouTube, and X.
Hey, I have a Taylor Swift video coming out later today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I filmed one yesterday, and I think I'm going to redo it because there's just so much to say.
Well, I'm doing one on all the libtards saying it's mega coded because she's happy now.
I have some of that
It's
in
so
mine,
great.
too.
Yeah, it's so great.
And pro-natalist, that's one of the criticisms.
Yeah, pro-natalist.
It's funny
and
because everyone is like, this album's bad, but also it's bad because she wants to have children.
it's such an incredible cell phone. They're like, oh, it's mega coded. Why? Well, she wants to have a family and live in a cul-de-sac. I'm like, you understand that everyone wants that, right? Like, like you understand.
I have a video of someone being like, well, that's, she's flaunting her wealth by naming brands like Balenciaga, but she's also flaunting her wealth by saying she wants to live on a cul-de-sac with a basketball hoop. That's not attainable to people. Which
It is obtainable to people. Everybody can obtain. Well, it's less obtainable these days.
Yeah, you just really hate her. Like, you're just criticizing her. Like, she can't do anything right.
Yeah.
And I don't even like this album.
I saw that same video, and she also whines about her like flaunting her wealth. It's like, bitch, you pay $1,000 a seat to go see her. You're enriching her. Who are you mad at? Like,
what about all these rappers that money, I'm rich, all that?
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen to them.
She's a white billionaire, so she's actually the worst.
Right. Only now, though, because she's friends with a mega girl. A bystander says, if Tyler is so guilty, why would he confess and then plead not guilty? I mean, that's a little thin, buddy. Like, prison is full of innocent people.
Did he just go to the police?
He turned himself in because they were looking for him, but he did confess to his gay partner, and he did confess to his family, allegedly, and he did confess to the priest, but he did not confess to the police, as far as I know. He just turned himself in because he was a person of interest, and well, of course he's seeing not guilty. He doesn't want to get killed. He doesn't want to get the electric chair. He's gonna, but he doesn't want that. Are they going to torture a guilty verdict out of him? 100% Patsy. He was allowed to close in like crooks. Yeah, but I mean, why is he still alive then? We can talk about this later. I'm happy to engage, definitely. Jeremy, this is a pattern with Candace. Brigitte's a man shtick and then goes nowhere. She spent months on Kamala is actually white and lying about her actual parents. She peddles BS. I didn't know about the Kamala is white thing. I didn't know that was even a thing. I mean, she's an entertainer.
There were a lot of people who were like critical of.
I remember that now. Yeah, she was white was white,
Jamaica, but wasn't, or like I can't remember what it was.
I do remember that now because it was all tied to her like fake Jamaican accent. Her code switching. Yeah. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys later tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern with everybody's favorite Luke Radowski. And for now, we'll say bye. Bye.